So Philip, we've got a new fact sheet on funds finance, but can you tell me what is funds finance?
Yeah, for these purposes, it broadly breaks down into three areas: equity bridge or capital call facilities, the first; hedge fund financing or NAV lending being the second; and the third, asset finance or acquisition and real estate finance, but specifically looking at the issues that would affect funds.
So before we explore that a little further, different people I know have different views. Some say funds finance is a particular specialist product. Others take the view that it's just specialist general bank lending. What's your view?
I think there's a real set of laws and issues that apply when you're either lending to or securing obligations over fund assets. And in my view, the degree of specialism required, the understanding, means it probably is a distinct product in its own right. But I do accept that it's not traditionally something that's recognised by legal directories or the market as a standalone product in the way that some other long-term mature financing products are.
And so do you think that reflects the developments in the debt markets recently, with the types of new lenders that have come in as traditional bank lenders have perhaps struggled?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's clear that I think from all commentators that the alternative credit provider space can only grow. Similarly, the fund industry as a whole has gone through exponential growth over the last few years. So it follows, I think, as a matter of fact, that further specialism in the debt markets is required.
And you mentioned some areas of fund finance perhaps are a little bit more mature or sort of well recognised as acquisition finance or real estate finance providers. Could you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are both mature markets. Those markets are obviously going through a state of change at the moment as post-credit crunch markets settle, banks still deleveraging. I think if you're looking at funds in the context of these markets, whilst the documentation would be similar to the documentation you'll see with a corporate involved, there are a number of issues you need to look at, whether you're acting for a fund as borrower or lending to a fund, if you're acting for banks that come into play.
And finally, for funds, if you like, traditional net asset value based lending,
yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, I think these are real products that are growing at the moment, and really what we mean by NAV lending or hedge fund financing, it's a sophisticated form of margin loan, but your underlying collateral is not a listed stock. Your underlying collateral is an interest in another fund, and really to do the proper security analysis, you need to really understand how the underlying funds work, because obviously you can't take better rights as a lender over the underlying assets than the person that already originally owned the assets already had. It's basic principles of banking law.
Philip, thanks very much.